So it finally happened. After 11 months, countless competitions across multiple weight divisions, different rule sets, sub-only events, a win streak that had been built up more than Undertaker's at WrestleMania, I finally lost my first jiu-jitsu match. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty sore one, and it's stinging now still, and it's stinging a lot more than I thought that it would. And I'm actually pretty surprised like that. Like, I didn't think it would bother me that much, but it turns out that it is. So there you go. And there's quite a few reasons why it was a particular sore one. So first of all, if you didn't know, I was competing at the European No-Gi Championships on Thursday there, and I got through my first few matches, got into the quarterfinal, and that's when I took the L. And obviously I was going there to win the full thing, and I wasn't just going there just to like make the podium or whatever. But unfortunately, the way that it works in jiu-jitsu is that it's the losers of the semi-finals that get the bronzes. So because I went out in the quarterfinal, I didn't obviously get a medal. But then what made it even worse is the guy that beat me ended up winning the full thing. So you're then sitting there pondering, being like, well, I've lost to one guy who turns out was the best guy on the day. So all those handful of guys that ended up finishing above me and getting the medals, were they actually better than me? Like, if the draw had worked out better, you know, would I have at least came away with a medal that would have been a little bit better, albeit still think I would have been disappointed. And you start thinking about all these types of things, and I'm not wanting to get into the whataboutisms or anything, because at the end of the day, like, that I can't control, so it's pointless ever really talking about that. But it's just natural, you just can't help these things going through your head. So anyway, enough of that stuff. I'm obviously coming here because I've told you multiple times before that this whole jiu-jitsu journey, as it turns out I'm going on, is just one big massive analogy for what you guys need to do with your training. More and more people are now kind of like following me from the jiu-jitsu world and learning about me from that. But it's not just, these kind of chats aren't just specifically for those guys. This is just for everyone, and obviously you need to kind of like read between the lines and take what I'm saying and the analogies that I'm giving for when things go well and things don't go well, and what you can learn from me, and apply that into your own journey, whatever you're trying to achieve, whether it's weight loss, muscle gain, get stronger, get better at your own sport, whatever it is. You don't have to understand all the intricacies of a fucking Della Riva X or the difference between a heel hook and a foot lock, because to be honest, I don't even know the difference between them. But you kind of just have to draw the parallels from what I go through in the lessons that I try and give you through the lens of competing in jiu-jitsu. And as I've told you before, that when I did eventually get beat, that I wouldn't be shying away from it, and it's really easy when things are all going well to be like, yes, and putting up the pictures and the videos and, oh, I'm the best and this and that, and mildly sort of showing off. I don't feel like I'm too bad for that, but you've got to keep a similar energy when things don't go well and you do, you know, fail. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you celebrate failure, by no means, and you should absolutely celebrate success more than you do failure. However, you can't just like shy away from it altogether and pretend that it doesn't happen. You've just got to face reality, and obviously I want you guys to see that as brilliant as I am, I'm not absolutely infallible, and I've now taken a loss, and I will continue to take further losses unless I just like keep within myself and just go and enter all the tournaments that are too easy for me, or look for the easy matches or whatever. And that's not what I want to do. Just like what you should be like in the gym and challenging yourself, lifting heavier and heavier weights, I'm always wanting to challenge myself to get the hardest matches I can, so I can like develop the most and actually, you know, reach my true potential. And as I said before, I never thought the jiu-jitsu journey would grow this arms and legs, and I've probably been training multiple times a week for not even a full year. Like this time last year I was still just training once a week as like a real hobby, still as a hobby, and I've now found myself going to the European Championships, getting to the quarterfinals and being disappointed because I've never come away actually winning it, never even mind medaling. So certainly didn't expect to go this far, but again, it's all about just challenging yourself, and as it turns out, you know, that's my level, and I just want to keep pushing that level further and further, and just keep improving and pushing myself, and again, just maximise my potential. So I just wanted to quickly come on here and tell you what the grieving process looks like for me, and what you need to do when you're faced with your own failures and taking L's like I did, because everybody's going to react differently. Some people can take it well, and you know, it doesn't really affect them too much, but I know some people, you know, they have a bad run of training, they have a bad run of their diet, and everything just goes to shit, and the head goes, and they give up, and they say, fuck this is shite, da. And I've got a bit of that in me sometimes, maybe not totally packing it in, but certainly, you know, just getting all up on my feels a little bit and being quite reactionary. So I'm just going to run you through what my whole grieving process has been after I've been beat. So first of all, I do just let my emotions go, and immediately when I came off, I wasn't actually too bad. I was a bit gutted, took a few minutes, spoke to my coach, and, you know, I was all right. And the real emotions didn't come out until I spoke to my dad after it, and anybody who knows my dad from what it was like through my judo days can imagine how that conversation went, and wasn't so much of a conversation, but I don't really know what I would use to describe it. Hi boy. You got a special guest now for the remainder of the video. So stage one is just getting the emotions out, and I always find it's not best to analyse things too soon after the event happens, because your emotions are too heightened, you're just going to get too emotional and you just can't see things rationally one way or the other. So it's good just to get a wee piss and moan and then let a bit of time go past. Now after I would let some time pass, at that point I would start to analyse the event and try and work out what went wrong and how can I improve. And obviously I'm not going to go on all the technical jiu-jitsu things, and for me, looking back at it, certainly didn't have my best day in the world for one reason or another. And I think it's not so much getting focused on what you can't control, it's focusing on what you can control. And one of the best bits of advice I ever got told from a coach back in the day was control the controllable. So I'm just looking at the things that, you know, I am in control of. So for me, there was one technical thing that's a pretty big hole in my game that I need to work on, and that's obviously where I then put the trust in my coach to obviously start to work out a plan about how we can start to iron that out. And the other thing that I think, although I had the best intentions and it wasn't like through half-arsing it, through my preparation up to the event and specifically through my nutrition and just kind of get my body weight down, I think I did make a few mistakes with that and just overshot a tiny little bit, and that probably resulted in me physically not being my absolute peak on the day and did feel a little bit flat. And again, I did plan it all out, but it's not trying to get caught up in, oh, if only I change this, only if I change that. I just need to take the information I've got now and apply it to the next time that I go to do it, and just, you know, put things in place so I can be better. And it's not about how can I change the last time, it's about how can I change the next time. And just be honest about it. Don't think that you need to lie to yourself and get embarrassed and think, even if you've made a rookie schoolboy mistake, just kind of pretend it doesn't happen because you think you're better than that. Like, whatever's happened, the truth will set you free. So just like own up to it and just identify the things you need to get better at, identify the things that went wrong, start to work on them. Simple as that. The last thing, it's about getting back on the horse and getting going again. So I competed on Thursday, travelled back Friday, which turned out to be an absolute hellacious day that was like 16 hours of travelling, which is just another story. Got back at about 11 o'clock last night, and within 12 hours I was back in the gym doing my normal lifting session. Tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, I will be back on the mat for my rolling session at 9 o'clock as always, and that would have been the case win or lose, because again, if you lose, you need to start making the steps to make you better, and if you win, then you don't want to get left behind and you need to just keep on improving. So I would have done that regardless, win or lose. And I know it's easy when you have a bad day, a bad session or whatever, and be like, ah, fuck this, I need to take time off and I'm just going to take a bit of chill time and stuff. And yeah, you know what, sometimes depending on kind of what's been going on, a total back step and a total break from it can be good, but more often than not, it's just about getting back going again and just getting on with it. It's as simple as that, and just start making the steps that's actually going to make you better. And I took a sore one in the competition, so what did I do? Got back to the hotel room that night, the next again competition, and I've now got the British No-Gi Championships coming up at the end of November, as well as a sub-only super fight the weekend before. And it wasn't a case of, oh, let's just try and get, you know, a win back under my belt, make me feel good. Nah, I've asked for the hardest possible fight I can get, the super fight, and I'm going the No-Gi British, which is obviously hoping to be the highest standard I can get in Britain, and I'll be doing that. And yeah, if I make the podium there, I'll be able to do the absolute open weight, and I'll be going into that as well to take on any and all comers, and obviously, you know, try and be champ once again. And there's no time for just pissing and moaning and getting all upset and just feeling sorry for yourself. It's about just coming back and being stronger and not giving up. So hopefully you can take something away from that and apply it to your own journey and your own way. And again, jiu-jitsu is just one big massive analogy that again, I will fully admit it went too far. As sore as it was at the weekend, the sorest bit was I was away for Crumble's first walk, so I missed him. But we've been on nice walks today, haven't we, boy? You've been really good, but you're now really tired and you're just wanting a wee sleep. Tino and Crumble signing off, and I will see you in the next one.